Now, did you go to Coundon Court School in 1990? The class of 1990 from Coundon Court is having a reunion at the Royal Oak in Earlsdon. The class, of course, turning 40 now. Goodness gracious me. There's an admission, if you like. Mike Bray is one of the organisers. Turning 40, Mike?
Yes, it's I actually turned 40 last October, but it's like the year that between September of last year and August this year that we all turned 40, so it's a big year for us all.
Yeah, and you're off to the Royal Oak then, a splendid venue if ever there was one. Doors open in about 10 minutes. What's happening tonight there?
Yeah, this the group of us getting together. It's one of those things where we've not all got together since we left school, so for some of us we've not been together for sort of 24 years. But I had a chance to meet him with an old school friend a few weeks ago, back in February, and it just transpired they've actually lived in the same road and had them for the past 4 years. So I just put a simple Facebook entry on my own personal timeline, and it's been out of control really, with almost 300 messages from sort of friends and people that've been at Coundon. And on the back of that, we decided to get a reunion together. It's happening tonight, so it's just a quick chance now to remind people, and if anyone's thinking about they might go, just do it and come along and join in.
Sounds like it's going to be a splendid night. Will there be teachers there as well, or just pupils?
We just look at just pupils on this occasion. We are sort of potentially looking at some further meetings in the future, and so depending on how tonight goes, we may invite some teachers in the future. Now,
did you all have nicknames at Coundon Court in 1990? I mean, will you be yelling across the bar at the Royal Oak, "Oi, stinker, haven't seen you for years," and things like that?
I think the first problem we've got to overcome is trying to recognise each other after 4 years. But thankfully, we've got a group of us. One of the people from the school, Emma's, got some badges together. We asked people to upload their school photos, and she's made some badges for us. So at least we've got our sort of name badges, which is a bit of a sort of tongue-in-cheek thing, but really sort of give ourselves at least a fighting chance of recognising each other.
And did you have nicknames?
There were a couple, but maybe not broadcastable this time of the evening.
I was going to ask you what yours was. You can't tell me then, eh?
Well, I'll pass it on for the time being.
Right, OK. So, look, it's turn up at the Royal Oak this evening then, from 6 o'clock. Will you be staying late, do you think? Later than you might have done back in 1990?
Yeah, I think so. We've got the back room, so if people know the Royal Oak, or when you arrive there, to go through the main front door and out the back into the function room. We think about 100 of us turning up, so there's a good turnout there. Come straight through there. We've got the exclusive use of the back room between 6 and 9. But the bar's open till 1, and then maybe even a bunch of scholars later if people look for that.
I think that's a very sensible thing that you've done, actually, booking the separate room, because I don't know whether you've been to the Royal Oak very often on a Friday evening, but as more and more people get in, it gets incredibly noisy.
Yes, I've been there a couple of times. Not so much since it sort of changed ownership and they agreed sort of the layout's changed, but I know it does get very busy, so that's what we thought we'd get the back room to at least... so we can sort of chat a bit more rather than sort of try and shout at each other. But
now, back in 1990, I don't know whether you had the odd night in a pub, did you? Were there many sore heads the following day in those days?
Not so much in 1990, because we were all sort of, obviously, we weren't having drinks, we were only 16.
Of course. Goes without saying, Mike.
There were a few sore heads, sort of people on the sixth form, etc., and... The Nugget was sort of one of the local pubs, and also in town, drinking in sort of the Silver Sword and the Pink Parrot. Back in the days when the town was a bit busier than these days, from what I understand.
Now, to make it really interesting, what you should have done, of course, is all turned up in your old uniform.
That was a consideration, and I think that we would say to people if they wanted to come in fancy dress or their own clothes or come back in their school ties, etc., they could do so. There may well be a chance that somebody might turn up in a school uniform. We'll have to see.
Do you still have your old school tie?
Yes, I've got both my Coundon tie and also my Park tie where I was at primary school. So, yes, right. I've got them still. So.
Well done. So you say you've had hundreds of responses to your Facebook posting. How many people do you actually think will turn up tonight?
Yeah, we've got about 170 people. We reckon there's about 270 people in the year. We've managed to sort of track down just short of 200, and we think about 100 turn up.
Well, it sounds as though it's going to be quite a night for you. I hope it goes well. Do you have any particular entertainment, or will it still just be chatting over old times and buying a few drinks?
No, we've got some music in the background. We've got a sort of playlist playing in the background through the PA system, and got somebody coming down, take some photographs, for sort of to capture the memory, rather than people have to spend all night taking photos themselves. So
it'll be the hit records of 1990, will it?
What we've asked for is people's suggestions for any songs between 85 and 90, which is when we were at Coundon. So yeah, it's that kind of era. So the late 80s.
Was it a good school to go to back then?
It was a really good school. The head teacher was a guy called Dave Kershaw, Mr. Kershaw, and was a really brilliant school head. He's actually now a counsellor in Coventry, from what I understand. But yeah, it was. I look back on my school years with great fondness and good memories. So it's going to be good tonight. It's going to be interesting. A little bit nervous, but I'm sure by the time I get a part like myself, I'll be okay.
Yes, David Kershaw, a great man, and a counsellor.
Yes.
Not been well lately, but we do wish him well. Mike, thank you for coming on this evening. Hope it's a splendid night for you.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Don't stay up too late, because you might have some extra homework to do over the weekend. you never know. Mike, thanks very much indeed. All the best.
Thanks for your time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's something that's on tonight, 5 to 6, by the way, the time. The Coundon Court Class of 1990 reunion in the back room, if you're going, at the Royal Oak at Ilsden, back room, so you can hear yourself talk. I can tell you, it gets very noisy in there on a Friday evening.